Hi, my name is Dr. Ben Glass. I'm a chiropractor. This is the Pre-Chiro podcast where we're just aiming to provide value and insight to prospective students about the path to becoming a chiropractor. Today, I have Dr. Emmanuelle. Thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure, Ben. Thank you for asking me to be in your program.
Absolutely. Can we get started by you just sharing a little bit about your background, where you're currently at today, and also where you were before choosing to become a chiropractor?
Sure. My pleasure. So I am from Belgium. I was born in Belgium, and since I was a little girl, I loved horses, and I was always in contact with horses. I actually was communicating with them. I was talking with them, and for me, that was really normal. Yeah, just friends, right? And so I always had a certain sensitivity towards animals. So I went to veterinary school. And in Belgium, veterinary university is 6 years. And the first 3 years, it was anatomy, physiology, and all that. And I liked it, and I enjoyed. And meanwhile, I was riding my horses, and so. And then in the 5th year, it just started being a little bit awkward for me, even though it was just the way it was, right, university. But I just couldn't deal with the diagnosis, treatment, prognosis. And I was like, it's always the same. So how can an animal that is an individual be treated in that protocol? So in the 5th year, I had my crisis and I wanted to stop studying. But luckily enough, life had put another veterinarian on my path who was working with chiropractic and acupuncture. So I escaped every time that I didn't have to go to university. I escaped there. It was in Holland, so it was quite of a drive. But it was really so amazing for me to be able to see how he was working, what he was doing. And I said, okay, I'm not giving up university. I'm going to keep on studying. So I graduated as a veterinarian, but straight away I went into the more of the holistic world. So first I started with acupuncture for humans, and then I brought that back to animals. And then I moved to Spain, but I went studying chiropractic, a postgraduate on animal chiropractic in Germany. And for me, it was what I was looking for. I knew that was what I was looking for. Also because I, as a child, had a lot of back pain. And it was partially emotional, partially physical of falling off of horses, right? And I loved it. It was really what I was looking for, the philosophy behind it, the working with the horses, the touch that there was. And I stayed working there as an assistant. And then meanwhile, I was living in Spain. And so I went from Belgium to Spain, and there were a lot of other veterinarians who said, "Oh my God, what you're doing is amazing. I love that, but I can't speak German or I can't speak English." So with the school in the States and in Germany, we set up the postgraduate on animal chiropractic in Spain. And from there, it just boosted out. Then I went to Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Chile, and yeah, we're still growing in that.
Amazing. So for a student in maybe college who's studying to become a veterinarian one day, this is maybe a very interesting discussion for them, but also for somebody who's considering becoming a chiropractor and had no idea that chiropractic could be related to animals.
Yes.
This is also a very interesting discussion. Can you share a little bit about how chiropractic, as it applies to animals, has evolved and where it is today currently?
For sure. So let's say that D.D. Palmer and B.G. Palmer, as we all know, they were already working with animals, right? So they just brought it over from the human spine to the animal spine. And obviously then it wasn't really seen as a profession or as part of the chiropractic or the veterinary profession. But like more or less 30 years ago, there was a veterinarian in the States who also studied human chiropractic, and she brought that together. And from there, the first let's say, the first animal chiropractic program started.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very new at that time. But the same as with human chiropractic, just the ball starts rolling, right? If
Mm-hmm.
something really is working, if something really is beneficial for the animals, for their health, for their well-being, then it can't be denied. So in the States, there were more and more veterinarians and chiropractors who started studying animal chiropractic, and then it moved to Europe, and from Europe we actually moved it to Latin America, and we're thinking really on also starting in Australia, even South Africa, and New Zealand, but these are still plans.
Mm. And is the reason you're thinking of expanding to these places because there's already a presence of chiropractic education and you're able to just really provide a science as it applies to animals for students who are already studying to become chiropractors?
Yes, that's true. For instance, I have students from New Zealand who are studying, who are chiropractors, who are studying now with me animal chiropractic. Now, the school for now is only in Spanish, but for 2021, we are setting it up also in English because we really want to broaden the spectrum of chiropractors and veterinarians who can study that, and that way also help more animals on the globe.
Amazing, amazing. What would you say to a prospective student who's thinking of going down this path? What are some resources that you could point them towards that they could start to study for themselves or start to prepare themselves for what's to come if they want to become animal chiropractors in the future one day?
Yes. So first of all, if somebody is studying chiropractic or thinking of studying human chiropractic, the animal chiropractic is an amazing world. It's even more amazing than the human chiropractic just because the animal is much more innocent still in their being. They connect much easier than a human being. They're not so much stuck in their rational mind. And just being with these animals, certainly I work with dogs, but mostly with horses. And working with horses, such an amazing, huge animal with so much power, being able to connect with them, being able to adjust them, to align their spine, and to really give them again that freedom of potential, of their innate wisdom that can really help them. Even though other veterinarians could not find a cause, is so beautiful because you can really feel the gratitude of an animal once that you have adjusted them. And it's such a beautiful feeling. And we need to really help the animal kingdom as much as the humans because it's very important that they are a very important part of our society, really. And animals help humans a lot. So I think they can receive their help back. And certainly saying that working with animals broadens your spectrum, opens your mind a lot. Just a feeling of being able to communicate with that body, with that system, with all these different bodies, right? Energetical body, emotional body, physical body, and being able to work with that dance when you do the chiropractic session is amazing. And whether it's veterinary students or it's chiropractic students, stay on your path. If it's really your mission, just keep your goal on there because we need you. The animals need you.
Amazing. Can you get into some of the specifics of the training to become an animal chiropractor? Where's the focus? Is it on the anatomy? Is it on the different physiology of the different animals? And what are the focal points of when, or milestones of when we know a student's progressed to certain levels of competency?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We have to understand that we're bringing two professions together. One is the veterinary profession and the other one is the chiropractic profession. So we focus on both because both professions have some very important knowledge, and both professions lack other knowledge or other wisdom. So obviously what we focus on as chiropractic is philosophy, is art, and is science. We work on these 3 points. The philosophy in my school is very important, because that is really the base of what we are doing. There are chiropractors out there, and it's in the human chiropractic like that, and the animal chiropractic also, who really stay very focused on the biomechanical. What is okay? But if we have the tools, if we can focus on the energy and on the structure, on the materia, we can get so much further. So really that new paradigm, it's not a new paradigm, it's an old paradigm, but let's say the paradigm of health, that really is the most important thing that we want to focus on, is very important in our school. So it's about the innate intelligence, universal intelligence, the possibility of the body to totally heal itself, to recover, to be in maximum health when there is no interference, when the spine is aligned. So obviously the philosophy is very important for us. Then the science is very important, because you would think different, but the veterinarians who come to the postgraduate, they're like, what the hell is this anatomy? Because they've never really seen it. Applied anatomy hasn't been taught in medicine, in medical school. It's more of a topographical, descriptive anatomy. And in chiropractic, we really bring it to life. We really apply it to the animal and apply it to what we're doing. So that is really beautiful. So we really work on the anatomy, because the anatomy is fundamental in chiropractic. We work on the spine, so we really need to be experts of the anatomy. And even though I have human chiropractors, they sometimes are like, whoa, this is really weird, because the animal is facing down, let's say it like that. The facet joints are different. The biomechanics are different, because obviously the animal moves in a very different way as the human being. So for chiropractors and for vets, sometimes that can be even a little bit challenging. We work very deeply on biomechanics, mostly because apart from working with older animals who need to recover, the world of animal chiropractic is really stepping into athletes in sports, right? So we have sports dogs, agility dogs, and so many students of mine work with agility dogs. And we have the horses, and horses are athletes. So whether it's jumping, whether it's dressage, whether it's racing, we really have to have these bodies fine-tuned, because it's just one, let's say, one small subluxation between an L4 and an L5 can make the difference in a horse between winning the race or being second. And obviously, sadly enough, there is a lot of money issues that come in there, but people are starting to understand that apart from the money part, apart from the financial part, the health of the animal is so important. And they start to be able to see both together. And with chiropractic, we can have so much like miraculous boom, and the horse is better or the dog is better, much more than in humans, because humans are like, this can't be real. But they're so clear, they're so pure in their body that they get there. Apart from that, we work on neurology. Very important part, neurology. It's mostly also, again, for the veterinarians, because veterinarians know pathological neurology more than functional neurology. Yeah. And so when we start working on functional neurology, there's a whole new world that is opening. And even for chiropractors too, because like we have to do our neurological exam totally different, and the animal reacts totally different on that. So you can really compare it a little bit with a baby, but then also not, because it's a huge animal or it's a small animal, but you know what I mean, right? So that is really beautiful. And then obviously the other part is the art of chiropractic. And that's such an important part. And the art of chiropractic, we really focus a lot on that in our school, because who you are, who I am when I approach an animal is what is going to make a huge difference towards the animal. And I saw that you just had an interview with Arno, and Arno obviously is the expert who opened a lot of doors for a lot of people, saying, please seduce the body uh, instead of acting strongly towards the body, instead of attacking the body. And that happens so often because as veterinarians, and even probably as chiropractors, obviously you're not used to being in that space with an animal, really being totally present, so that the animal can start trusting you, so that the animal can open themselves. Because we know very well, when we want to do a chiropractic adjustment, it's very important to do it at the exact moment that the body is opening up to you. So to a person, you can say, please just relax. And okay, that doesn't mean that the person will relax. But with an animal, you can't just say relax and they do so. So it depends on us to give that confidence to the animal, to give that trust, so the animal can really open up to us and show us what's going on. And the beauty also is, I'm not tall. I'm a woman. I'm not tall. I'm not a very strong person. And a lot of people say to me, "Oh my God, watch out with the horse because he's dangerous." Or, "How are you going to move all these bones because a horse weighs 500 kilos?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just wait and see." And obviously, it's not about the force. It's not about that. It's not about submission. It's about coming together with the animal. It's about being present, going with that correct intention towards the animal. Say, "Hey, what do you think? Feel like a little touch?" And the animal's like, "Whoa, wait, are you not going to put a needle in my throat, in my neck or whatever? Are you not going to lift my leg and hurt my leg? And are you not going to submit me to being strong, and or to stay still?" And very often the horse just stays there. And that is so beautiful, because it's really an art. It's the art of communication. And obviously we know that in chiropractic, it's not about force. It's about knowing where the subluxation is, having that subtle finesse in your fingers, in your body, being fine-tuned to say, okay, I notice here a subtle change. Even though nobody else noticed the subtle change, I notice it, because I am an artist in touching the spine. And therefore, we really need to know ourselves very well. We need to be that perfect machine, to call it like that, or that perfect vessel to be able to connect and to really have that communion with the animal, and then obviously doing the correct adjustments. So we really want to bring in as much as possible. Therefore, the postgraduate is intense, but it's so worthwhile.
Are you allowed to take the program as a chiropractic student, or do you need to be graduated from a chiropractic program to qualify for the program that you're offering?
Well, the program that I am offering is for chiropractors who are graduated, also for students of chiropractic. They actually can start in their second year of college, but they receive their diploma, their certification, once they have their certification as a human chiropractor. So they can finish the postgraduate before they finish chiropractic school, but they cannot really work as such. They can't be certified. And also our certification associations don't allow that. But they can come in, yes. And we certainly advise students to come in, because they are in that study atmosphere. And being in that atmosphere really helps, because there is a momentum build up. Once that you're working, once that you're having your life as a chiropractor or as a veterinarian, sometimes like, okay, maybe next year, because this year I don't have time and I have to I have to do this and that, I have to build up my practice, etc. But once that a student just takes it and can work with it through the years of study, and then starting as a human and an animal chiropractor, is a big plus.
Amazing. How long is the program? How many hours is it? Where can people go to learn more about it?
Right. So the program is partially online, partially on site. It used to be all on site, but what we noticed is that giving a part online helps the students to restudy. They can go over the information once, twice, three times, because all the new concepts is a lot for our human brain and also for the body. It's like, okay, how do I put my body? How do I put my hands? What is all that neurology, etc.? And it goes over 8 modules. There are 8 modules of information that is sent, and it goes over more or less 6 months. And so depending on the country, because we are stabilized in Spain, in Mexico, and in Argentina, depending on when I can travel, when my assistants can travel, etc. We do an intensive part on the practical, or we do it in 3 modules. Like in Spain, for instance, it can be in 3 modules or together, and it's over a time period of 6 months. And we have live classes. We have a group, a forum group where people have to put their case studies up and all that. It's very dynamic, and really, it's amazing. It's
amazing.
It is amazing.
As a prospective student, I might be, if I was a prospective student looking to a profession of the future, something that's evolving and emerging to become a way that I can be not only impactful, but also satisfied with my career choice. Can you just talk a little bit about some of the results that you've seen with the program in your graduates, some of the exciting new animal chiropractors that are out there, and what they're up to, or what the lifestyle of an animal chiropractor looks like?
Totally, for sure. So first of all, if you're a chiropractor, or if you're studying for a chiropractor, if you want to work with animals, it's so beautiful to be outside. You're outside in the countryside. The connection with the animal is beautiful, is amazing. And as a veterinarian, for instance, there are no emergencies anymore. If you work as a first-line veterinarian, it's a hard life. It's a hard life, and working as an animal chiropractor, it's a very beautiful life. You just there also what people have to understand. People who call the animal chiropractor for their animals are people who have a certain consciousness already, who know what the importance is of the health of their animal. So first of all, it's nice to be around these people, because a lot of people, they say, oh yeah, I'm very happy not to work with humans anymore. I just work with animals. But you may not forget that the animal has an owner. And so if you're working as a veterinarian, it can sometimes be difficult with the owners. Now, if you work with animal chiropractic, the owners have a certain understanding of life and understanding of health, and they really want to care for their animal. Like I say, whether it's on a sports level, but they do want to go for the real health instead of infiltration, instead of surgery, instead of injections or whatever, right? Painkillers, etc. So that is very beautiful already to work with that. You go to amazing places, because most horses, or even dogs and cats, right? The people who really ask for a chiropractor, a lot of them live in amazing places. Mostly, like I say, with the horses, I can really go to places that I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, you can really tap into the place, tap into the animal, and really tap into nature. That is very beautiful too. And the gratification that it gives to me, to not hear an animal say thank you, but to feel an animal say thank you, in that very innocent, beautiful, high vibrational way is a very beautiful feeling. And so you ask, what are chiropractors now doing nowadays? So what I see is when there are human chiropractors who take the postgraduate, a lot of them just totally only focus on animal chiropractic because they really love it. They love the lifestyle. They love the lifestyle of not being in the office, for as much that the office can be beautiful with incense, with whatever like that. It gives you it opens your mind a lot. It opens your mind because it opens your spectrum of where you're going. So you're a lot in nature. That is very beautiful. So a lot of them only start working with animals. A lot of them also have 50-50 because once that people know that their chiropractor, who really looks after them, who saved their lives sometimes, can also do that to their dog, to their cat, to their horse, to their whatever they have with a spine. They're like, oh yes, please. So some chiropractors have or a different office, like a separate office for the animals, or they just take animals on other times. Like for instance, Monday, Tuesday, Fridays, humans, whatever, Wednesday, Thursday is for the animals. And it gives that difference. It just makes it a little bit lighter and not so
repetitive.
Right.
Yeah, it
Yes.
breaks it up.
And we have seen so many amazing results with animals, like animals that have fallen, like horses who have fallen over, and they had a huge subluxation in the atlas axis, for instance, and they just can't walk anymore. They're totally wobbly and they lost their proprioception. And vets say they're done, or they have to be sacrificed, or they just won't serve you anymore for anything. And then the animal chiropractor comes along, and then sometimes just in one adjustment, you just see the animal, whoa, like saying, okay, what is this? What's going on, right? And I remember, and that's why I said, I really need to study this. When I was with that veterinarian in Holland, I remember it was February, freezing cold. We were in a barn that was closed, in a riding arena. And there was a horse, and he just came in totally wobbly with his eyes half closed. I could really sense the headache that the horse had, because headaches is not really a diagnostic in animals, because you can't really diagnose because they can't say it, but we can tap into it, right? So the horse really came like that, and I was standing in front of him, and the veterinarian where I was, he just went to the a huge horse, big warm blood, dressage horse, very high level horse, a lot of money. And the vets had said, we have no idea what we can do. So he was just there, and then he was there and connecting with the animal, and boom, he did his adjustment, and the horse just did like that, almost went down on his knees, almost fell over, and I was standing like 2 meters away in front of him. Like, whoa, he's just totally collapsing. And then he came back up like a real resurrection, his eyes open. He was like that. He was like, oh, like calling out a little bit, like, oh my God, what happened with me? And that was it. And I was like, okay, I need to be able to do this. And that is such a beauty. And then obviously there are these little smaller things that we call smaller because the body is not really manifesting that much of symptoms, but that really take the horse or take the dog or take the cat to a higher level of well-being and performance.
Yeah, you're going to have to go study this. This is exciting. If you're a student out there, if you're thinking of this path to become a chiropractor, recognize that becoming an animal chiropractor is an amazing opportunity that has been created for you. There's now infrastructure, there's programs that exist in not only Spanish and English. I wish we could do this discussion in Spanish. If I had more time, I would start asking you questions in Spanish. But for now, if you're interested, I think that you've really piqued their curiosity, and if they want more, that they can reach out. We'll
Totally.
post more information down below as to how you can learn more about the animal chiropractic programs that are being offered around the world right now.
Mhm.
And Emmanuelle, thank you so much for sharing with the prospective students and also
My
chiropractic
pleasure.
students. The animals are an amazing opportunity just to connect and to connect in a new way, a different way that I've been out on the horse farms. I've watched dogs be taken care of. I've been right there. And it really is incredible. So thank you so much. And I wish you the best. And I'm just
My
really
pleasure.
excited that this is growing, that this is expanding.
Certainly. And it is an amazing profession. And as a chiropractor, I think it's taking your profession to the next level and your life, the quality of life.
Mhm.
Anyway, my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. And I hope one day we can keep on talking a little bit. And meanwhile, whoever has questions, they can always find me on Facebook. And we are working now on the website in English. So we're launching soon in English.
Very exciting. All right. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
You
Wonderful.
too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.